as we announce the results of a major investigation connected to the towing industry. At the conclusion of this announcement, there will be an opportunity for questions. I ask that you please use the microphone provided in the middle. There will be a short break for photographs, followed by one-on-one interviews with the elected officials or senior leadership team. A media release will be issued shortly after the conclusion of this conference and will include links to all the information that's going to be presented here today. A full video of this conference will also be made available on our Peel Regional Police YouTube channel. Without further ado, I would now like to call upon Chief Nishan Dariappa. Chief.
Thank you, Manny, and good day, everyone. Thank you for joining us here with Peel Regional Police. Today is the announcement of a project called Project Outsource, which is a clear demonstration of what it looks like to have collective power to dismantle organized crime in the form of multiple agencies working with other entities, not just in Peel Region, but beyond Peel Region. Today is sort of an outward way of ensuring that the accomplishment is made known not just to you for the media outlets that are here, but our community who is deeply impacted by some of the things you're going to hear from our team. The successful takedown of a violent criminal organized network is a bold statement to our communities that they will not continue to be held hostage by the individuals that plague vulnerabilities in our community. In this case today, officers from our Extortion Investigative Task Force, which we created, have worked collaboratively with policing partners from right across Ontario and nationally. I want to thank them for joining us today, and specifically from the Ontario Provincial Police, you'll see behind us is Chief Superintendent Mike Stoddard. From the Toronto Police Service, Chief Superintendent Joe Matthews. From York Regional Police Service, Inspector Marco Napoleano. From the Halton Regional Police Service, Deputy Chief Jeff Hill. From the Criminal Intelligence Service of Ontario, Deputy Director David Correa. I'm also honored to have a variety of elected officials and representatives here from our Police Services Board. From our Police Services Board, we have the Region of Peel Chair, Nando Unica, and also the Chair of our Police Services Board, Mr. Alan Boughton and Mr. Omar Khan. Members of Parliament and Member of Parliament and Canadian Secretary of State for Combating Crime, Ms. Ruby Sahota. Parliamentary Assistant to the Solicitor General, MPP Sylvia Gualtieri. MPP Hardeep Grewal. MPP Sheriff Saboy. Of course, Mayor of the City of Brampton, Patrick Brown, and also a member of our Police Services Board. Deputy Mayor of the City of Mississauga and member of our Police Services Board, Mr. Matt Mahoney. Councillor Gurpratap Tour, City of Brampton. Councillor Martin Reed, City of Mississauga. Councillor Rowena Santos from the City of Brampton. Also Deputy Mayor of the City of Brampton, Councillor Harkirat Singh. The reason why they're here is also an extension because the vulnerabilities that we saw impacting the community also impacted them and their constituents, so they're deeply invested in this. Let me take you back to the beginning of 2023, where here in the Region of Peel and other large urban centers nationally and internationally saw a sharp trend in violent extortion attempts, particularly targeting the South Asian business community and owners of various businesses. These threats escalated into a variety of different offenses, including drive-by shootings, arsons, a variety of acts of violence that spread fear and insecurity, not just into our local community, but it gripped international news. Our response here at Peel was swift, and that was the establishment of an Extortion Investigative Task Force, which at times exceeded 40 officers. We committed to protecting our community in a real, notable, bold way by targeting those responsible. Since that time, Peel Regional Police has had the privilege of announcing a variety of different arrests, which have amassed over hundreds of charges and related offenses as a demonstration of the intent to maintain this commitment. That extortion investigative team transformed into what we call and initiated this Project Outsource, and I suspect the team will explain why it was named that way. but it's an investigation into criminal organization responsible for a significant amount of these extortions here in Peel. But as you will see, there's a second element to that which will be explained, and that's why you're surrounded by nearly 18 tow trucks and a variety of other vehicles around you. Outsource was initially focused on extortions, but as I said, soon expanded to the focus on revealing that Inderjit Dami and Paritosh Chopra were the leaders of a criminal organization responsible for numerous offenses, including extortion, violence, and as you will hear, tow-related offenses. A large number of the extortions that we have been investigating over these years can be attributed to this criminal organization and those associated to it. What our investigators have demonstrated is that organized crime is no longer specialized in one particular area. A week ago in Peel, we spoke about a large seizure of drugs that was also involved with a polymarket organized crime entity. And today is another example of what diversification for criminal groups looks like, because they find different ways to seek vulnerabilities, exploit them, turn them into profits, and then into harm to our community. The proceeds of one crime, just to be clear, are used to further other criminal offenses. This is why it's important that we work together, not just with our justice sector partners that you see here before us, with all levels of government, to develop, build appropriate responses and strategies that can evolve with the type of crimes that we're experiencing and start reducing them. Some of them mean changes at every level and also allowing us to be equipped to be able to do what we do here. There is a wide range of offenses that are experienced here, not just extortions. Some of them you will hear include the theft of vehicles, cargo, trailer theft loads, in addition to extortions. I guess the message is pretty clear. We will not allow criminal organizations to victimize our community. We stand united, shoulder to shoulder, to fight against this violence. I must acknowledge that we would not be able to have achieved this project without the funding from the provincial government and the government of Ontario through the Criminal Intelligence Service of Ontario that play a constant critical role in our ability to dismantle these crimes. I'd like to express my gratitude to the Peel Police Services Board, who has an unwavering support to ensure that I, my team, and the numerous remarkable investigators who we can't put them all in front of the camera are enabled to actually show you these outcomes. And I do want to express my gratitude for the women and men that have been involved in it tirelessly for over a year. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to Deputy Chief Nick Milinovich, who oversees our regional investigative and emergency services, who has oversight over this, to speak to you further. Nick?
Thank you, Chief, and good morning. And thank you to everybody who's joining us here today. Again, I would like to add my congratulations to the exceptional work of our Extortion Investigative Task Force and really all of our Joint Force Operation partners who are joining us here today. Thank you. The outcome of this investigation really is a testament to their collective effort towards keeping our communities safe and keeping organized crime out of it. Project Outsource has resulted in the arrest and charging, as you heard from the chief, of 2 people who we believe were leading a criminal organization. They are Inderjit Dami and Paritosh Chopra, and they are charged with instructing the commission of an offense for a criminal organization. What that means is they were in charge of this organization and providing direction to others that were a part of it. This was a crime group who attempted to extort hundreds of thousands of dollars from our community with threats, and also engaged in tow industry-related violence and crimes like fraud. A total of 18 people have been arrested and collectively share nearly 100 criminal charges related to extortion, conspiracy, fraud, firearms, and more. A total of $4.2 million in assets have been seized, including 18 tow trucks, 5 stolen vehicles, and 4 personal vehicles. In addition, officers have seized 6 firearms and approximately 600 rounds of ammunition. We have substantial evidence linking the group to dozens of staged accidents and potentially costing insurance companies between $80,000 and $100,000 for each staged accident. In total, those fraudulent claims exceed $1 million for this particular investigation. And to put that in perspective, fraudulent claims to the industry of insurance represent an equal amount to stolen cars, a cost which is then passed on to our community. To those who continue to engage in organized crime, our services and our teams will arrest and charge you. But in addition to that, we will also seize the assets that are the focus of why you're involved in your crimes. Project Outsource is more than a successful investigation. It's a clear message. Crime has no place in Peel. Crime has no place in our communities. To our community members, if you receive a demand for money under violence, do not pay. Call the police immediately. We are committed to protecting your identity and your safety. Once again, congratulations to our entire investigative team. I will now ask Detective Sergeant Brian Lorette to share an overview of this investigation and the outstanding outcomes from it.
Thank you, Deputy. Good morning. I'm Acting Detective Sergeant Brian Lorette with Peel Regional Police, Intelligence Services, and the primary investigator on Project Outsource. Project Outsource was launched in July of 2024 as a focused sub-investigation under the Extortion Investigative Task Force, which was created in response into a rise in violent extortions across the region of Peel. Our investigators identified a specific Brampton-based group believed to be behind a significant portion of these crimes, as well as offenses in the towing industry. The project allowed us to target a group and disrupt and dismantle its operations. Our investigation identified a criminal organization, its members and associates, and revealed its hierarchy and structure, as well as numerous offenses it was involved in, including extortions, firearms-related offenses, frauds, and other property-related crimes. The project was funded by the Criminal Intelligence Service of Ontario in January 2025, and investigators from Intelligence Service liaised with national law enforcement partners such as the Canada Border Services Agency, our GTA partners, and the RCMP. As a result of the investigation, we seized over $4.2 million worth of assets, including 18 tow trucks from certified roadside and humble roadside towing companies, which you can see behind me. In addition to that, we seized 4 high-end personal vehicles and 5 stolen vehicles. We also seized 6 firearms, 600 rounds of ammunition, approximately $45,000 in Canadian currency, and to date we've laid nearly 100 charges. On June 10th, 2025, a series of coordinated search warrants were executed across the region of Peel, the town of Caledon, York Region, and the City of Toronto, involving over 200 officers. This investigation has led to the arrests and charges of the following 18 individuals for offenses including conspiracy, extortion, participate and instruct in a criminal organization, and staged collision offenses. The following individuals are male residents of Brampton, along with 1 female from King City. Indrajit Dhami, 38 years old. Paritosh Chopra, 32. Gurbinder Singh, 28. Kawinder Puri, 25. 31. Indrajit All, 29. Varun All, 31. Ketan Chopra, 30. Norman Tazikand, 32. Pawandeep Singh, 25. Dipanshu Garg, 24. Rahul Verma, 27. Karan Boparai, 26. Mankarit Boparai, 22. Samar Boparai, 21. Abhinav Bardwaj, 25. And Haleh Javadi Tarabi, a 37-year-old female from King City. This investigation is still ongoing, and we anticipate further arrests and charges. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank my colleagues in Intelligence Services for their dedication, professionalism, and exceptional investigative work, which is what made this project a success. I'd also like to thank the following for their assistance: the Ministry of the Attorney General's Crown and Assistant Crown Attorneys, the Criminal Intelligence Services of Ontario, Equite Association, and our policing partners from the OPP, Halton, York, and Toronto Police Services. I'd like to further acknowledge the tactical teams from these services, as well as from Hamilton, Niagara, Guelph, Durham, and Waterloo for their critical support during the execution of our search warrants. We believe the guns and tow trucks seized during this investigation, as well as the arrests made, will have a significant impact on our region, as well as across the GTA and throughout Canada. This concludes my update on Project Outsource. I would now like to turn this over to Chair Nando of the Peel Police Service Board.
Thank you very much, officer. Thank you. Not at all. Wow. Well, thank you very much, officer. Good morning, and it's a privilege to be here on behalf of Peel Region and the Peel Regional Police. And it was mentioned, I've also got my colleagues on the board, Omar Khan, and I saw Councillor Mahoney. I saw Al Boughton, I believe, and I know Mayor Brown's one of our members as well. So thank you for all of us for being here in support. As Chair of Peel Police Services Board, I want to begin by acknowledging the outstanding investigative work that has brought us to this moment. While today's announcement may focus on arrest and seizures, at its core, it's about community safety and restoring peace of mind of residents and business owners who have been living under the threat of organized crime daily. In my 37 years in municipal government, I've seen firsthand how deeply issues like criminal infiltration into the towing industry can affect our neighborhoods, our roadways, and the confidence of our residents. This is not a victimless crime. It's an erosion of public trust and community well-being. The job of the Police Service Board is to ensure that our police service has the tools and the resources it needs to act when public safety is at risk. That includes supporting efforts like Project Outsource, which reflect a modern, intelligence-led approach to disrupting complex criminal networks. This is not just about stolen vehicles or illegal profits. It's about intimidation, extortion, violence that targets hardworking people, often small business owners, who deserve better from all of us. The success of this investigation also reflects the strength of interagency collaboration, and I want to thank our provincial partners and our policing partners for working alongside Peel Police to get the job done. As we move forward, the board remains steadfast in our commitment to ensuring that Peel Regional Police is equipped to control and confront emerging threats with intelligence, coordination, and resolve. Today's a reminder that behind every statistic is a family, a business owner, a neighbor, people who rely on us in leadership to protect the communities they call home. So on behalf of the board, I want to reaffirm that commitment to stand alongside our police service, our partners, and most importantly, the residents of Peel. And I do want to close, as I've been at this a while, what a privilege. I cannot remember the last time that on a dais I've been with members from all levels of government, especially on such an important file. Normally we have some of our ministers from the province. It's a busy day at Queen's Park, but I have to single out Doug Ford and all he has done to help Peel Police on this file. Minister Kersner and all that he's done. The joint services and all that you've done. I want to thank the officers involved. You know, today's a busy day, but at the end of the day, I'm going to go for my walk in the park with my wife, as I usually do. And the people in uniform here are going to go back out and deal with people with firearms like this and malintent. You've got to keep that in mind when we deal with our officers, and I think our obligation to resource them, but then have their backs when they need our support. They can't fight a two-front war. They can't go after the bad guys on the front lines and then have us not resourcing them and not supporting them, and we support them. And that's a marvelous segue for me that I can introduce Patrick Brown. Do you know, Patrick, I've been just so impressed with you and your role as Mayor of Brampton and all you do at the Region of Peel and all you've done on the board. Patrick is incredibly hardworking, incredibly intelligent, but where he's been so great, the Peel Police Services Board, is his advocacy. He has been on these policing files since he's come to the board, traveled to Ottawa and Queen's Park many, many times on behalf of the board. And Patrick, a large part of today's success is yours. So with thanks from all of us, I'm happy to turn it over to Mayor Brown.
Well, what a beautiful day today as we celebrate great investigative work. I just want to say, first of all, congratulations to Chief Nish and his team. They always say in Peel Region, if there's a difficult investigation, PRP will solve it. And this is yet another illustration of that. You know, I am joined here today by our Deputy Mayor, Harkirat Singh, and Councillor. Started to hear about extortions. It was terrifying in the community. You know, we had a round table with the community. There was town halls, and everyone was scared. They heard about these incidents, and there was a real concern that we were only hearing the tip of the iceberg, that more and more of these very dangerous extortions happening. And part of the beauty of Canada is that we feel safe. And that was pierced. This one really hit home. We saw very intentional targeting of the South Asian community. And I remember talking to Chief Nish about this. And his immediate response was, we'll get to the bottom. To have a chief, who take these complex issues with confidence, and it just gives us peace of mind in Brampton and Peel region. This is exactly why you make sure the Peel Police.
We've been listening to officials in Brampton announcing details of a major investigation into organized crime and the towing industry. It was a project investigation called Project